Hey, quick question. When was the last time you spoke machine? No, I mean really spoke it. Because whether you realize it or not, machine language is quietly running your life. It powers your phone, your car, your fridge, your bank account. It's there when your doctor checks a scan, when your flight lands safely, when your favorite app refreshes before you even blink. You don't hear it, you don't see it, but it's there. A silent empire built on ones and zeros. It didn't used to be like this. Once language belonged only to humans, poets, politicians, professors, people who lived for rhythm, ambiguity, tone, and charm. Then something changed. Machines began to listen, not with ears, not with emotion, but with voltage. A one, a zero, a flicker of current. And just like that, we began to learn their language. Talking to a machine back then, it was nothing like asking Siri to set a timer. There were no jokes, no metaphors, no sarcasm, just logic. Brutal, cold logic. Say exactly what you mean or the system crashes. Literally. There was no maybe, no or ah. A pause meant nothing. A wink meant nothing. The machine didn't care how clever or emotional you were. It was like writing poetry with a scalpel. And yet, it was still a kind of art. Not expressive art, but structured, precise, deliberate. Instead of stanzas, it had loops. Instead of metaphors, instructions. Instead of rhythm, recursion. The first coders were like monks, dedicated, obsessive, silent, typing streams of ones and zeros like digital scripture. And the deity they served, utterly unforgiving. One wrong digit and the whole thing collapsed. Sometimes without a trace. No tools, no friendly editors, no helpful error messages. Just raw binary and infinite patience. Eventually, the patience wore thin, so we built something a little more human, assembly language. Not quite poetry, but at least we didn't need to memorize 1,000 digits just to move a number in memory. We went from raw binary to commands like move, GMP, add. Still sharp, still rigid, but now silently more readable. It was the first layer of human meaning, painted over the machine's stone face. Then it got interesting. We created high-level languages, Python, Java, C++, JavaScript, each with its own voice, its own culture, its own way of thinking. Python, smooth, minimalist, calm, feels like talking to a thoughtful tutor, used by data scientists, AI engineers, researchers, people who went doing a lot of things and want smart things done without yelling at the machine. Java, the suit and tie, structured, reliable, corporate. Banks run on it, governments trust it. It's not flashy, it's fundamental. C++, a language of virtuosos, game developers, system engineers, people who don't just use machines, they command them. It's hard, it's sharp, but it's powerful. A symphony for silicon. JavaScript, chaos incarnate. Originally made for flashy buttons, now it runs the internet. Quirky, flexible, unpredictable, but it's everywhere. These aren't just codes, they are dialects of power, and learning them feels like unlocking superpower. But here is the twist. We don't really speak to machines, not directly. We write our code, but in between us and the silicon, translators, compilers, interpreters, virtual machines. They take our messy, human friendly code and reduce it to something the machine can understand. A compiler doesn't care what you meant. Only if you said makes logical sense. Every if becomes a jump, every loop a test. Everything gets sliced, stripped, optimized until only pure logic remains. Back then, we didn't have good professors to teach us all these languages. We trained, we coded hours and hours. I mean, when everybody was skiing during the Easter, I was coding Java all day long. I had like 2 weeks Easter holidays, and I was in my room doing Java. What we write in clouds, the machine reads in fire and metal. And what do we get in return for learning to speak this way? Everything. Apps that track the weather, AI that spots tumors, cars that steer themselves, satellites that guide planes, algorithm that write music, screen resumes, detect fraud, build cities, run nations. All of it built on code. Invisible, often thankless, but it's the grammar of power in the digital age. Electricity powered the last century, logic powers this one. And logic has to be written. That writing, my friend, is code. Here's the beautiful paradox. Code might be cold, precise, unemotional, but at its core, it's deeply human. It's human intent turned into machine action. It's us shaping reality line by line. In every loop, every condition, every function, there is a trace of curiosity, a whisper of ambition. Code is how we build the future. Not with bricks, not with a steel, but with language. Not poetry, power. So next time, when you swipe, tape, click, or ask, remember, you are a speaking machine, and sometimes the machine listens.